Welcome back to Session 6 of Mood Matters, the final session of the course. In the previous session, we looked at avoidance, putting things off, rumination and problem solving. Did you manage to take a proactive approach to your problems? If not, then give it a go. Finding solutions to your problems can help to put you back in control. In this session, we are going to focus on mood-dependent behaviour and goal setting. So, what do we mean by mood-dependent behaviour? Well, when we talk about mood, we mean different collections of feelings that you experience at any one time. For example, when you're in a depressed mood, you may feel any combination of sadness, guilt, hopelessness, pessimism, anger, and so on. When we are mood dependent, we allow our mood to dictate what we do, how we behave, and what goals we will pursue. When we are feeling depressed and our behaviour is mood dependent, we may find ourselves saying things like, "How can I do anything right now when I have no motivation at all?" Or, "I can't meet my friends, I'm too depressed." Instead, we tell ourselves that we will just wait until we feel less depressed or have more motivation before doing anything. However, if we wait until we feel less depressed before doing anything, then we may wait a while. As we have already discussed within the course, engaging in meaningful activity is extremely important to improving our mood. Therefore, if we continue to stay at home, withdraw from others and put things off, we are unlikely to feel less depressed. Moods such as severe depression can be very strong and can almost convince you that you have no choice in how you behave. At such times, it helps to remember that if the incentive were strong enough, you could do any number of things, such as exercise, clean the house, spend time with friends or family, or go for a walk. So even though it feels like you can't possibly do anything, you do in fact have the ability to engage in activities. At this point, you may wish to read over the worksheet entitled Problems with Change. Mood-dependent behaviour is behaviour that is guided by how we feel in the moment, rather than by the goals we want to accomplish. It can therefore hold us back from achieving what we would like to, and can make us feel even worse about ourselves and/or our situation. At this point, you may wish to read the worksheet entitled Mood Dependence, Danielle's example. From Danielle's example, we can see that waiting for her mood or her motivation to improve played a big part in keeping Danielle stuck. The less active she was, the worse she felt, and the worse she felt, the harder it was to become active and engaged in her life. However, when she made a conscious decision to act against how she felt and do something different, she noticed that her mood improved a great deal. Ask yourself if you tend to be mood dependent. Some examples include waiting until you feel less depressed before beginning a chore, cancelling plans at the last minute because you don't feel up to it, or lying in bed because you feel fatigued rather than getting active. Can you think of some behaviours that you do which may be mood dependent? You can use the worksheet entitled Exercise 1 to write these behaviours down. You may make the assumption, without even realising it, that your behaviour has to be guided by your mood. We are often taught that emotions and moods are the causes of behaviour. For example, if you ask why a person is crying, the most common answer is because they're sad. However, moods and emotions are actually only one of the factors that affect how we behave. Other factors include the situation we are in, what we are thinking, and what particular goals and expectations we may have in mind. Therefore, it is certainly not the case that you have to act according to how you feel. This is an important point to remember. Have a look at the worksheet entitled Exercise 2. Think of an activity that you have recently avoided, but that you suspect would be helpful to you in the long run, and write this down. Some examples might be getting a CV together, starting to exercise regularly, seeing friends or family more often, or confronting a difficult situation at home or at work. Then consider what keeps you from engaging in this activity or behaviour. What explanations do you typically give yourself as to why you can't engage in this activity or behaviour? So if what we are saying is that mood and emotion does not have to dictate our behaviour, then you may ask what the alternative is. Well, it can be more helpful to behave according to a predetermined plan or set of goals rather than our mood or emotions. When we wait to see how our mood is before deciding what to do, then we are being reactive. When we determine a goal and pursue it, regardless of what our mood is like, then we are being proactive. Being proactive is about sticking with the plan, even if you feel it is the last thing you want to do. This is often much more helpful when you are feeling depressed, rather than letting your mood determine what you will do to solve a problem. Using the worksheet entitled Exercise 3, write down examples of your behaviour that are very dependent upon your mood. For example, if you choose not to exercise because you don't feel up to it, you could write, "Not exercising because I'm not in the mood." For each reactive behaviour, write down a corresponding proactive behaviour. Continuing with the previous example, you could write, "Exercise on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday, no matter what mood I am in." Properly identifying your goals and working towards a goal when you're feeling depressed is very important. One tricky thing about goals and depression is that you may feel that you have no goals or that there is no point as you won't achieve them. This can be regarded as mood-dependent thinking. We can apply the same principles to such thoughts as we do to mood-dependent behaviour. For example, if you find yourself not interested in defining goals, but you know that it might be helpful, why not make up and pursue some goals regardless of how you feel and how you think just now? You may wish to have a look at the worksheet entitled Proactive Craig's example. When you act according to your goals rather than according to your mood, it may feel awkward at first. You may feel that you're acting in the sense of pretending you're someone that you're not. This feeling is to be expected. It does not mean that you are being false or untruthful to who you are. In fact, the truth is that you are someone who is pursuing a goal and choosing, regardless of your mood, to act on it. Goals can be divided into either short-term or long-term. Short-term goals are things that you would like to achieve in the next few days or weeks. Long-term goals are things that you would like to achieve over a longer period of time, say a few months or a year, perhaps longer. Close your eyes. Think of a short-term goal. Where are you? What is happening? How do you feel? What impact will achieving this goal have on your life? You may wish to use the worksheet entitled Exercise 4 to write down some of your goals. When setting goals, it is important to make them SMART. SMART is an acronym which gives us a structure to follow when we set goals for ourselves. Let's go through each letter in turn. S is for specific. Try to make your goal as specific as possible. So what exactly is it that you would like to achieve? For example, instead of making your goal to get fit, you could be more specific and make your goal to join a gym and go 3 times a week. Specific goals have more chance of being accomplished than broader goals. Breaking it down really helps. M is for measurable. How will you know if you have actually achieved your goal? What will you be doing at that time? What will others notice you doing? What will be different? What will you have started or be doing regularly? What will you have stopped or be doing less of? For example, I will be going to the gym 3 times a week. A is for achievable. Ensure your goals are not too high. Don't set yourself up to fail. Consider setting smaller goals on your way to the big one. Celebrate your successes. If you don't achieve what you set out to, then ask what you could do differently. What would make it more likely to succeed next time? R is for realistic. Ask yourself, is this achievable with the resources you have? Are there any other resources you need before you can or to help you achieve your goal? How can you access these resources? What problems might you have? What can you do to minimise those problems? And lastly, T is for time bound. Set a reasonable time limit to achieve your goal. 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years. Consider different, smaller time limits for smaller steps. Let's listen to Stephen's example. If you only have 1 or 2 goals, give it some time. Try to think for a few minutes each day about what you want to accomplish in the next few days, weeks or months. What do you want to accomplish in the next 6 months or the next year? It will take practice to begin thinking in a goal-orientated way. Having 1 or 2 goals is not a problem if you're clear about what they are and you really value them. When you've thought of a SMART goal, consider all of the steps that will be necessary to carry out the goal and write them down. Then, try to put the steps into a logical order. What needs to happen first? Commit to step 1. Commit to a day and time to begin it. Then, no matter what your mood is like, begin working on it. Congratulate yourself when you complete each step for what you have accomplished, no matter how small. You may wish to use the worksheet entitled Exercise 5 to help you. Ending depression can be a very worthwhile goal. Reminding yourself of your ability to choose what you want to do with your time can help you to keep the goal in mind. We have now reached the end of session 6. Thank you for completing the Mood Matters course online, and we hope that you have found it helpful. Remember that overcoming depression won't be easy and will take time and perseverance. You have taken the first steps, so continue to build on this. Reflect on the points made over the previous 6 sessions and use the exercises to help you. Further self-help material can be found on our website. If your problems persist, do not hesitate to contact your GP. If you would like more information or advice regarding any of the services we offer, contact us on 0141 232 2555.